this video. We will try to understand in this video a little about how we can calculate a parsec. So parsec is like something which we use to calculate distance when the distance is huge, like like in terms of like one planet from another planet. So the distance is so huge that you cannot use kilometer, meter, and also it is very confusing. So let us try to understand. Okay. So to understand that, a couple of things, a couple of concepts that need to be clear. First of all is the concept of angle. How do you define an angle? Okay, so let me try to explain it a bit. Consider a circle. Okay, let me draw a circle here. Okay, so this is a circle over here. If you see here, I will try to draw a radius of this circle. So suppose it may not be 100% perfect, but think this is the radius, and then there is another radius I'm trying to draw like this. Now so suppose this particular line I am sorry so so this particular line over here, I am turning it anti-clockwise in this direction. And how much did I turn? I turned 1/4. Okay, so 1/4 turn is equal to pi by 2 radian, or 90 degree. You should know this. And then suppose if I turn 2/4 or half, the angle that is getting formed, like this is the angle that is getting formed here, then like this. So this will be pi radian or 180 degree. And suppose I turn it anti-clockwise even more, so it is like I'm turning 3/4 times, then this angle, this becomes 3 pi by 2 radian. Okay, which is 270 degree. So this is 270 degree or 3 pi by 2 radian. And then suppose I turn again and make it like same as this line or this radius, then I am turning it one complete time like this. And this angle, this whole angle, as you all know, this is 2 pi radian or 360 degree. Yeah, so this is how you understand the radians and angles. So let me sum it up one more time. So this is say I am turning it 1/4 times. I will write it over here. I am turning it 1/4 times, which is equal to pi by 2 radian. So I do not write radian like it is understood, it is radian, but it is pi by 2, and it is also, or you can say it is also equal to 90 degree. And suppose you are not satisfied with degree and you want to convert it into minutes and seconds, you can also do that. So minute is basically when you divide a degree by 60, it becomes minute. Okay, so suppose 1 degree is something which is already very small, so 1 degree will be this kind of angle. So suppose this is your 1 degree, and this is already a small angle, right? Like it's not to scale, so it is actually even more small. But suppose you are not satisfied with this and if you want to make the angle even smaller, then you have to divide it by 60, and then each of those 60 pieces, each piece will be 1 minute. So it will be very small. So I'm trying to make you understand like this. It's not possible in this diagram anymore, but something like this, it will be struggling already a lot. Uh, now I have actually, but anyway, you get the idea, right? So it will be a very small. So no, I'm not able to do it, but it will be very small. So it will be 1 by 60 minute. Suppose you want to make that angle even further small, so it can be converted into seconds. So the angle will be even more small, and you have to again divide it by 60. So in that way you can make the angle very small. Okay, so 90-degree. Okay, so we know that when you are turning it just a minute, uh, do it like this. So when you are turning it 1 by 4 times, then you are actually uh, creating an angle of pi by 2 or 90-degree. And what is this 90-degree? This is, suppose I want to convert it into minutes, so it will be 90 multiplied by 60 minute. Okay, and also if suppose you want to convert it into seconds, it will be 90 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 60 second. So 90-degree is 90 multiplied by 60 minute. It is like 1 rupee is 1 multiplied by 100 paisa. So 1 rupee is 100 paisa. It is that kind of way you can try to understand. So this is the equation. Okay, so you now know that pi by 2 is 90-degree, and 90-degree is equal to this minute, and this much minute is this much second. Same way, so I can just copy it here and I can paste it here. Suppose I turn it not 1 by 4 but 2 by 4. Okay, so I will turn it 2 by 4 times. 2 by 4 times is nothing but 1 by 2 times. So 2 by 4 times is nothing but I am turning it like this. So this becomes 2 by 4, or half times I am turning it. So the angle becomes not pi by 2, but this angle becomes pi. So I'll just remove by 2 from here, and this degree becomes 180, and this becomes 180 multiplied by 60 minute, and this also becomes 180 multiplied by 60 second. So this is how the angles are represented. Suppose I turn it 3 by 4 times now, anti-clockwise of course, and then so this I can just copy this, so I do not have to write it, or I can also write it actually for so that you can understand. So now what I have done is I have turned it how many times? 3 by 4 times, right? And then what will be the angle? The angle will be 3 pi by 2. 3 pi by, yeah, and this will be equal to 270 degree, and this is equal to 270 multiplied by 90 minute, which is equal to 270 multiplied, sorry, this is not 90 minute, this is 60 minute, 270 multiplied by 60 into 60 second. And then going even further, suppose I turn it 4 by 4 times. 4 by 4 times means 1 time, means I will turn it 1 complete time, then this becomes like this. So I am turning it 4 by 4 times. This is nothing but is equal to 4 pi by 2, which is like 2 pi is equal to 360 degree, which is equal to 360 into 60 minute, which is equal to 360 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 60 second. Okay, and this is, as I told you, that this 90 degree, this pi by 2 is nothing but radian. Okay, so you may write it or may not write it. If you do not write it, understood it is radian. So I'll better write it so that there will be no confusion. This is basically radian. Okay, radian. Don't want to spell it over onto a different line, so this is radian. Okay, so this much is good. Now there is another concept that you need to know, and that concept basically is okay, so this is the first concept. Okay, so this is the first concept. First concept, what it does is it familiarizes you with the concept of angle, how an angle can be represented in the form of radian or degree or minute or second. This is the way. So now suppose first concept is to help you understand angle representation in terms of radian or degree or minute or second. So suppose somebody tells you, suppose there can be like a question, like somebody asks you a question. So the question is like this. So the question is suppose like this: what is like 180 second? This second is not like the second in your watch, so this is not a time, but this second or this second, whatever I have written over here, this is called arc second. Okay, because we are dealing with circles and this is like circular second or something, so you can call it arc. This is generally called arc second. So suppose somebody asks you what is an arc second. Okay, so what is like 180 arc second, what it is. So how will you explain? So it's better, so 180 arc second of course is 180 arc second, but if you want you can convert it back to minute or convert it back to degree. Suppose you want to convert it back to minute, what you need to do, it is like, suppose there is 100 paisa, so second is like it is very small, right? So when you convert it to minute it will be bigger. So it is like somebody is telling, hey, I have 200 paise, 200 paisa I have, so how much, what is that amount? So to convert to rupee, what you need to do, you need to divide 200 divided by 200, so it becomes, sorry, you need to divide 200 with 100, so because 1 rupee is 100 paise. So when you divide by 100, so 200 divided by 100 is 2, so you can say, hey, you have 200 paise, that means it is 2 rupee. That is, both are same, 2 rupee and 200 paise are the same. So similarly 180 arc second, how much minute is this angle? This is very simple, 180 divided by 60 minute, or you can say 3 minute. Yeah, and also somebody wants to know, okay, but I'm not satisfied with minute, I want to know 180 arc second, this is how much degree. Okay, so okay, so that's fine, you want to know how much degree it is. Then once you have the minute, how do you convert it into degree? You divide by 60, of course, then it becomes degree. So 180 divided by 60 is 3, so 3 divided by 60 degree. Yeah, but then he says that no, I am not happy with degree. How much radian it is? What you need to do? How much radian? How you are going to convert? So you can just use this formula. So pi radian is equal to 180 degree. So 180 degree is equal to pi radian. So 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 radian. Okay, 1 degree is equal to pi by 80 radian. Means from this formula you can understand, let me try to write it down. From this you can understand that (180° is equal to pi radian. That means 180, so divide both sides by 180. 180 divided by 180 is equal to pi by 180 radian. Okay, or 180 by 180 is nothing but 1. So 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 radian. Okay, so if 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 radian, then 3 by 60 degree will be is equal to 3 pi divided by 60 multiplied by 180, this many radian. So 180 arc second becomes 3 pi by 60 in bracket multiplied by 180 radian. Okay, so this is how you calculate basically. It is like asking like 1 apple costs 5 rupees. How much will 3 apple cost? So you have to multiply the cost of one apple, which is 5 rupees, by number of apples, which is 3. Similarly, if 1 degree is pi 180 radian, how much is 3 by 60 degree? You have to multiply this with this and that, this with this, and by that you get this answer, this many radian. Okay, now okay, so now this much is done. Oh no, I just lost my chain of thought. Okay, so now let us again think about another concept. Okay, so okay, we will now look at the second concept. Okay, so I'll just open another sheet. Okay, so the second concept that we are going to discuss is this is nothing but relationship between you can say arc and angle of a circle. So this is a relationship between arc and angle of a circle. So this is how it works actually. Suppose there is a circle like this. Is a circle like this. Okay, and so we'll draw 2 radians from here to here and from here to here. So you know that like the area of a circle is like pi r square, and the circumference of the circle is like 2 pi r. I think you know, and maybe in another video I can actually prove how it happens, but for now the video will become very long, so I'll just write it here, like circumference of circle is equal to 2 pi r, 2 multiplied by pi multiplied r is nothing but the radius, so r is here, this is the radius, so r is the radius here. Okay, I don't know how to drag this one here. I'll just put text box here and write it r like this. So this is the radius, this is the radius, and this one is the arc. Okay, so we can denote the arc as s. So this is like this is the arc, this one we can denote as s, or the distance of this arc. So I'll just write s over here, and this is r, this is the radius, and this is the angle basically. So the angle can be denoted by, say for example, the angle can be denoted by, say for example, theta. Okay, I'll just write it for you. Theta, like this. So basically, the relationship between the arc and the angle is this. The relationship is basically, you know, that this angle, as we have seen, suppose this is a 90-degree angle. So we have already seen that this angle is pi by 2, right? So this angle is pi by 2. So we can think that this pi by 2, this angle, if it is a 90-degree, this angle is pi by 2. So suppose we consider that case. So this pi by 2 is the angle. The radius is, of course, r. Okay, it can be any value, it's a variable. And this one, this particular, this part of, this is a part of the circumference. Okay, this is not the whole circumference, and it is a 90-degree. Okay, so this is basically 1/4 of the circumference. So if you see, this is the whole circle circumference. It is like the slice of pizza, which is like 1/4 of it. So this distance is 1/4 of the circumference. So 1/4 of 2 pi r is pi r by 2, right? So here s is equal to nothing but pi into r divided by 2. That means if you see here, then radius, what is the conclusion? The conclusion is a very beautiful conclusion you can see over here. That means, how are these three related? If you see, this arc is equal to pi multiplied by r divided by 2, right? So this arc is nothing but equal to pi by 2 is angle, right? So pi by 2, if you see, if I write the pi by 2 separate, pi divided by 2 separate, and then what is remaining is the radius. But this, what is this pi by 2? In this case, it is like pi by 2 is like this theta angle, because we are considering the right angle case. You can, if the angle can be anything, but in this case we are considering the case of right angle. So this pi by 2 is basically this angle. Okay, so this is theta. Pi by 2 is theta. So that means that the arc is equal to theta. I do not have a theta symbol here, so I am writing theta multiplied by radius. The length of the arc is equal to theta, which is the angle, multiplied by the radius basically. So this is how you deduct this particular formula. This is the second concept. This second concept helps you to understand the relationship between arc angle of a circle, arc and angle of a circle basically, and also the radius of the circle. See, so you can also understand it in another angle. So for example, now consider the whole circle. Okay, so s will become 2 pi r because it will be the circumference. So you can also understand 2 pi r, 2 pi r. Okay, this becomes the arc, which is the circumference, because if you are considering the whole circle, this will be s. Okay, and here theta, because we are considering the whole circle, so theta is what? Here theta is basically 2 pi or 360 degree, 2 pi radian. So it will be 2 pi, and then radius will remain radius. So the total circumference becomes the arc. So the total circumference, the total the total arc length in this special case, because it is the total circle, it is 2 pi r, which is nothing but the angle. The angle is 2 pi and the radius is r. This is just for the understanding, like 2 pi r is 2 pi r, but for making you understand, I am trying to make you understand, because this will help you to understand the concept of parsec. Okay, so now let us jump to parsec, because enough of understanding the concept in parsec. So I will draw another board over here. What is happening in the case of parsec is basically this. So what the astronomers have found out, they have found out that like okay, so suppose this is just an imaginary huge circle. It's a very big circle, imaginary. It's not possible to exist in reality, but it is like, think in your head about this huge imaginary circle where the earth is residing over here, where the sun is, say, over here. This is the sun, and the earth is orbiting around the sun. So at some point in time, the earth is over here. Okay, so earth will be little small, so I'm making it bit small. The sun is a bit big, so this is the sun. These are the rays of the sun. Trying to dramatize it a bit so that it becomes fun to learn. Okay, so this is the sun and this is the earth, and you know the average distance between the earth and the sun is 1 astronomical unit. So this is 1 AU. Okay, so this distance is basically nothing but 1 astronomical unit. Yeah, I'll just reduce the size. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so this is 1 astronomical unit. Now what they have found, and which of course to establish this is beyond the scope of this video, because that will again need more reading and more research into it, but basically the idea is, what the astronomers have found, that there is an angle that gets formed by this sun and the earth. The distance subtends an angle to an imaginary circle whose radius is equal to the distance of a parsec. Suppose this circle, you have to assume that the radius of this circle is equal to 1 parsec. Yeah, that much you have to assume. So it's a huge circle and the radius is also very big, and this one is 1 parsec. If the radius is 1 parsec, so let me write it over here. If the radius is 1 parsec, then the distance between the, of course, the average distance, the mean distance between the sun and the earth is going to subtend an angle onto the center of this imaginary circle whose radius is 1 parsec, and that angle is 1 second. So now we know what 1 second is. In our previous part we have already seen 1 second is. So that's why those concepts needed to be clarified before coming to this. So now I draw this angle. So this is a very small angle. It is smaller than 1 degree. By how much? By 3600 times smaller than 1 degree. Just like 1 paise is 100 times smaller than 1 paise is 100 times smaller than 1 rupee. In similar way, 1 second, 1 arc second is 3600 times, it's more than 100, right? 3600 times smaller than 1 degree. So you see the angle is very small, yeah. And so because the angle is very small, so this distance will become very huge. That's why 1 parsec will always be more than 1 astronomic unit, which is like the distance between the sun and the earth. So this helps you to calculate a larger distance. Okay, so now we can do the math. So the math that we can do is, we have already found out in this previous part that what we are trying to establish a relationship between the arc and the angle of a circle. So basically the arc is equal to the angle multiplied by the radius. Okay, so this is nothing but arc is equal to angle multiplied by radius. We'll put this whole thing over here, okay, and then things become very clear. So here, so I will write it over here. Here arc, okay, same thing we will put here. Arc is equal to angle multiplied by radius. Okay, so here what is the arc? This is the arc. If you consider the whole circle, the whole thing will be the arc, which will be the circumference, but we are not interested in that. It's an imaginary circle and we are only considered about this 1 astronomic unit arc. So the arc here is 1 astronomic unit, which is equal to angle. How much is the angle? The astronomers have found through their own telescope and all this thing, experimentation and all this thing, they found this is 1 second. So this is 1 second, this angle. And what is the radius? And the radius is 1 parsec. Okay, 1 parsec. From this, okay, let me write it over here. So let us do the maths over here. Okay, so now this much we are clear, right? Now we have to find out what is parsec. How are we going to find out the parsec, right? So so to find out the parsec, we do this. 1 parsec is equal to 1 astronomic unit divided by 1 second. Okay, divided by 1 second. Now here, let us come back here. When we were trying to understand the relationship between degree, minute, radian and second. So now we have to convert, what we have to convert? 1 second into radian. So because we have seen here 1 parsec is equal to 1 astronomic unit, divided by 1 second, right? So what is this 1 second? So 1 second we will find out from here because we already calculated this. Okay, it's very easy. 180 arc second is 3 pi divided by 16 to 180 radian. Okay, so 1 arc second is nothing but is equal to divided by 180. So this whole thing 3 pi divided by 60 into 180 this whole thing, the whatever the amount it may be, that will again be divided by 180. That will be how I mean that is how we find the arc second to radian. Or okay, I'll do it separate, okay, so that it becomes clear. So um, let us copy this thing. So 90 degree, okay, sorry, this one, or we can actually copy this one, and we are going back to this thing. This one we have already found out, right? So let me write it over here. Let me write it over here. 180 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 60 second is equal to pi radian, right? So I am just getting rid of this part. So 1 second is nothing but divide both sides by this much number. That will be pi divided by 180 into 60 into 60 radian. So 1 second is equal to this much radian, and we will substitute it over here. So this becomes, okay, I will write it. It's better if I write it. So because it's very difficult to type. So I will write it like this: 1 parsec. Okay, it's not allowing me to write it. Oh no, there's something. My scribble is, no, it is putting its own intelligence and ruining my this thing. But I will try to okay, I'll try to do as much as I can. Sorry. Okay, so 1 parsec is equal to 1 astronomic unit divided by 1 second. So what is 1 second? 1 second is nothing but pi divided by 180 into 60 into 60 radian, right? This is a radian. So what is 1 astronomic unit? How much is that? So let us check the Wikipedia. Here you can see that one parsec is equal to 180 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 60 divided by pi and then astronomic unit will become here. Okay, so I think something like that we got, right? 180 60 60, because 180 60 60 will go up, so divided by is there, so this will go up, so this is basically nothing but is equal to 1 astronomic unit, um, actually 1 astronomic unit multiplied by 180, because this is divided by something means it becomes multiplication, so 180 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 60 divided by, finally divided by pi. Okay, and now what is 1 astronomic unit? I don't remember, so 1 astronomic unit is nothing but 1 astronomic unit is nothing but this meter 149. Oh my god, this is too much. Meter 1495978707001 1495997 1495997. So this is equal to 149,597 149,597 870,700 870,700 multiplied by 180 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 60. Okay, this is 60. This comes to how much? That of course you need a calculator, or we can just check from here. 180, so it's over here. You can see 1 astronomic unit, here it is calculating 180 into 60 into 60 astronomic unit. So I'm putting astronomic unit here, so it is like the whole thing comes around 96. I cannot copy it, but it comes like 96939, but pi it has kept it here. Okay, so yeah, so here it finally gives you this, and so this whole thing becomes 30856 30856. 1 minute, so that you get a complete understanding. So this becomes 30856 30856 775814 775814 775814 913673 913673. And what is the unit? Should be meter. Yeah, it is meter. No, yeah, 673 meter. Yeah, last 673, this is a meter. Yeah, so this is how it is calculated. Okay, and I think this gives you a good understanding of what is parsec and how you can calculate parsec. Of course, to know this, first of all you need to understand actually how these angles are represented in terms of radian, degree, minute and second, and then how what is the concept between the arc of a circle and the angle and the radius, this concept also, And then finally, when these two things are clear, then you will be able to appreciate like how they are calculating 1 parsec. So this is like this is a parallax way of like finding. I was just looking it up in Google, like what is basically the parallax way of finding out things. So basically, if you look at your finger, index finger, just you point your index finger straight up and look at the tip of your index finger with your left eye, then you will see the position is at point A. But then you close left eye and then open right eye and see it, and then you will see that it is shifting. Just close left and close right and see from your left and right eyes alternatively the tip of your index finger. You will see it is shifting the location. This shifting of location is called parallax. So somehow from there they have got this concept. So basically from here, from the center of the circle, when you are seeing the sun and also when you are seeing the earth, basically there will be a shift, just like the shift that was happening on for the tip of your finger when you are closing and opening left and right eye alternatively and looking through each of them. Similar kind of shift happens when you are looking at sun and the earth, and the shift, how much is that shift? That shift measurement is through angle, and it is a very very small shift. That's why they need a second. So the degree will not do. If it is degree, the distance will be huge, like this arc will be like huge distance. But since we need to find the distance between the earth and the sun, which is of course the astronomical unit, this shift is very less, and it is like only 1 second when the radius is 1 pa parsec. Yeah, this is how you can understand how to calculate parsec. Parsec is basically a unit of distance, you can say, but a unit of a very large distance. Kilometer and all these things will not help. That's why you need parsec. So they created, the astronomers and the scientists, they created this imaginary unit of distance which is called parsec. And how big is the parsec? This is how you can appreciate it. So this concept needs to be clear. Thank you. Thanks for watching.